listening to the Guitar Heroes podcast.
Oh dear.
Well, welcome everybody to this festive edition of the Guitar Heroes podcast. My name is Lee, and as ever, I'm joined here today by Mr. Phil Walker.
Hello. I'm sorry, I've just got to get this off my chest because I'll just laugh all the whole episode. But it's a Christmas festive one. I can see there on our Zoom meeting that there's a tree behind Chris, and I've got my little tree in the studio, and Lee's got nothing behind him. And I said, "Oh, look, it's Ebenezer." And then he said, "No, look, I've got Christmas things that go on the tree." And Lee's so tight, he's actually putting Christmas gift tags on his tree because they're cheaper.
It's all lies, everybody. It's all lies. Actually, you know what? You say that, but I have come prepared.
God, this
because
is great.
check this out. Now, come on, if that's not Christmas...
Put your trousers back on, Lee. And hello, Chris.
Hello. I'm actually going to play some guitar. Here we go. Just to get us into the Christmas spirit.
Go on then, Chris. Ooh, very jazzy. Very nice.
Ho, 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 ho.
Oh, hang on.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Right.
That was nice, Chris. Yeah, very good.
It was. It was. What are we doing today, chaps? I know what we're doing today. We are doing a festive edition of the Desert Island Discs format that we used a few weeks ago. So I said to you guys,
Oh, yes.
come prepared with a couple of tracks that highlight some Christmas guitar playing that was significant to both ourselves, but hopefully to the wider guitar community as well. I thought that'd be a really cool idea for this Christmas edition. Do we have a Chris's Corner today, though? Because I know the people at home need to know. Come on, Chris. Don't disappoint.
I don't today, no. Most of my time is spent on just trying to find guitar-y based Christmas songs. It's been
Oh, dear.
I'm
Christmas
sorry.
is
If
cancelled.
I think of something,
your tree
and
down.
if I can get a word in and think
Christmas
of something,
ruined.
I'll jump in and cue the music. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, all right. And do we have a Phil's rant today?
Oh, I've got because lots I could rant about today. I tell you what, with all the with the London going back into tier 3 or up to tier 3. Yeah, I mean, it's what time is it now? It's about 10:15, and I've just spent the last 2 hours trying to sort out everything because dates have just gone haywire again for the guitar show, and it's just the proverbials hit the fan with no tinsel attached again. So yeah, COVID's playing another curveball with us. But do you know what? I don't care. It's Christmas. We're going to get through it, and the gigs are not being cancelled. They're being moved. Exactly. Lee, put your trousers back on, and it's going to be a good Christmas regardless. So nothing's going to get us down.
Absolutely. Bit of Christmas cheer
Exactly.
to start us off on the right foot. So let's jump into it, chaps. Let's get go. What do you call it last time? I think it was Desert Island Riffs. So this is the festive Desert Island Riffs. And last time it was quite surprising, actually, that we didn't get any double ups. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens today. Where should we go first? I'm looking at Chrissy Baby to start us off on the right foot. Chris, what have you got for us today?
Okay. Well, I know you mentioned last time in preparation for this that the more obscure the song is, the more points we get. So I have some obscurities to choose from. I've got about 3 songs. I've got 2 main ones and a backup. But
Okay.
I'm going to jump in with a very famous one that everyone knows. And this is actually my favourite Christmas song. And it's Chris Rea's Driving Home for Christmas from the 1986 album.
What
On
a
the
tune.
Beach.
What a tune.
I'm guessing, have you chose that one as well, Lee?
No, I haven't actually. I had a feeling that you were going to pick this one because I know you mentioned in a previous podcast that Chris Rea was a massive influence on you. But what I've got is I've got my choices, but I've also got some honourable mentions, which we'll come to later.
The thing is, a lot of Christmas songs are not so much guitar driven, but this one for me does stand out as we, are a guitar podcast, guitar themed podcast. In fact, let me just turn some of this reverby stuff down.
If you keep noticing, my hands keep going all over the place. My dog's in the studio again. I'm not doing anything I shouldn't be with my hands. I'm just leaning down to stroke him
Okay,
and
yeah.
give him treats.
Sure.
But yeah, I've learnt this song for a few gigs, and as well as being my favourite, it's got such a lovely guitar intro, use of ninth chords, which is really nice. And as soon as you hear that, you're like, yes, it's Christmas. Driving home
Yeah.
driving home for Christmas from a gig. That's the first song I stick on the van radio, and yeah, it's just one of my favorites. I don't really have much more to say about it, to be honest. It's just a fantastic song, and
Warm and fuzzy.
you guys a fan?
Yeah, definitely. Great choice. There's a bit in it that, for me, every time just gets it.
Oh, the climb up. It does the
No. Maybe it's after that bit. It's just, that's it. Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It's so good.
Just a couple of power notes in there. It's just awesome. I don't know. Do you know what he used to record this one? Do you know what it was?
I don't know actually, but I do know I've recorded some demos on his desk, on his big console, which was taken from his studio. At the agency I was working with, bought that. I think it was $100,000. I think they spent on it, something ridiculous. But yeah, to record through it was quite magical. Actually, it was great.
Did it feel Christmassy?
It did. I couldn't help but just keep playing the song over and over. It's like, come on, Chris.
Do you know which songs he played through that desk?
I know that was one of them.
Was it?
Yes.
Which channel did his guitar go in? Did he go through the same one?
Oh, I didn't know. No, I didn't ask this. I should have been more thorough with these questions. And
Well, I would have been. I wouldn't have got any recording done. I'd have just been like, ooh. I'd have been proper geek out.
Ooh, Chris Rea's desk.
Yeah, exactly.
His office desk. Lovely pencils and pens.
Yeah, his office desk was a lovely bit of teak, is that?
So this would have been a Strat, would it not? Sounds quite stratty to me, and it's a lovely tone.
Yes.
He had two. He had two 60s ones, didn't he? He had a Daphne Blue and a Fiesta Red one, yeah.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah.
That other thing he used to play? They used to play like some sort of chrome and blue and.
Oh yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean? Kind of a weird looking thing. Oh, what was it called? I'll tell you what. I've got me Google my thing here. Let me just get online and have a quick look. See what I can find.
Could you order me a Greg's while you're on there? With a vegan steak bake.
Well, the doorbell normally goes.
Oh well, actually,
10:30 in the morning.
It will go because the window cleaner's
Phil's having
coming.
his Christmas curry.
No, but that
No,
I've just typed in Christmas curry into Google.
Yeah, can you send me around to my house, please?
How do you spell his name? What is it? It's R-E-A.
REA.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look.
That's a good choice of song, is that, Chris? If I hadn't have been so underprepared, I might have picked that one.
But his voice, just his voice alone as well, is like a hot cup of cocoa, isn't it?
Oh, man.
It's just.
For
He also has those money notes. They're not vocally so high, but when he hits those notes, you're like, oh yeah.
Right, I've got it here.
Right on the
I've got it
magic
here. It was an Italia Marinello. Does that ring a bell? Italia Marinello. Although I must admit, he used that later on in his career, so ignore me on that. It definitely would have been Strats at this time.
I know those two Strats that he had. He's used them for years and years and years. I mean, I think he still did a little bit of touring not too long back, didn't he? But I'm not sure he actually took those out. Oh, he may have done. I don't know. He's a northerner, isn't he? So he's probably he's tight like me. He just uses the same one over and over.
I think I must have been listening to Chris Rea actually at a really young age because I've got this weird familiarity whenever I hear some of his songs. I think my parents must have had one of his greatest hits. I want to say it was something like New Light. What is it?
Is that the one with Let's Dance? Not
I
Let's
can remember
Dance.
the cover. It had a picture of a window.
I don't know.
And it was like a white cover. I want to say New Light for Old Windows or something.
Oh, Lee. Do you know what?
I can picture it, but I don't know which one.
I think it's time to jump into the Google machine.
Yeah. Let's jump onto
Google.
the Google machine. Right. New Light.
He's got some great songs as well, like Josephine and oh my god, they're just amazing. And I listen to any of them. They all could fit around Christmas for me. They just all have such a good connection to each other.
Okay, here it is.
A lot of continuity.
New Light Through Old Windows. And it is a compilation. White album cover with a window on the front. And yeah, I just get this weird sort of nostalgic feeling, but it's not even nostalgia because nostalgia is harking back to something that you can remember. But
It's most of my record collection.
what
It's
nostalgia?
all nostalgia. It's all my record collection is stuff that I'm rebuying from when I used to have vinyl 300 years ago. You know, and I just keep buying it back, and every record means something to me now.
I don't. It must be something more different to nostalgia though, because it's like I say, nostalgia is sort of harking back to something that you can remember. But this is more like a familiarity. I think I must have been too young to really know what I was listening to. But I get this quite often actually. I'll hear a song and I think, where do I know that from? It's almost more like a deja vu type thing. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, tangent there. But
Oh, that's all right. We're good at that.
Yeah, so that's my first nomination anyway. It's Chris
Cracking
Rea's
choice.
Driving Home for Christmas.
cracking choice.
Good choice.
Are we going to do one at a time? Are we? We'll work around this little circle.
Yeah, I guess so. So over to Phil.
Okay, well, I've come massively unprepared to this because as usual, I've had a really hectic week, and yesterday was quite before I jump in with the song, yesterday was hectic. I rescued 2 hedgehogs yesterday.
What? Hedgehogs?
Yeah. Well, my mum and dad called me. They said, "Oh, there's a little baby hedgehog. They shouldn't be out this time of year, by the way. There's a little baby hedgehog being attacked by a jackdaw." So I went and got that, and it was a tiny little thing. So that's now in a rescue centre. And last night, I'll just let the dog out for his final wee, and there's a hedgehog, a big one, just by the French doors where I let him out. And so I took him and weighed him. He's a really good weight, so he's fine. So we've got a little hedgehog house at the bottom of the garden. So apparently, he's made a nest in there, and he was just out for a wander. And so we've put some more food in. So yeah, it's Hedgehog Central here at the moment.
You've got a bit of a thing about hedgehogs, haven't you? Didn't you rescue one last year?
Oh yeah, Stripe. Yeah, that's right. It was a little baby hedgehog, and we took it. There's a great rescue centre down here in Dorset on Portland called Paula's Wildlife Rescue, and she's amazing. She does it all, funds it all by herself. So we made a donation in that yesterday. She now owns my house. But she's great. But yeah, she took one of our little hedgehogs in before it was too cold for it, and he was too underweight. And then about 4 months later, we got it back all nicely fattened up, and we still think it lives in our garden. So yeah, we can never move because we've got too many hedgehogs in the back.
Well, we know what you'll be going into then if we don't get back to gigging.
Hedgehogs, yeah.
The Walker Sanctuary for Hedgehog Rescue and Wildlife.
Yeah, I do believe we've digressed again.
Oh, have we? Shall I bring us back onto track? Hang on.
Yeah.
There we go.
Please put your trousers on. Okay, so nobody out there can see this, but you guys can. I've got my Brad Paisley Telecaster with me today. And it's not even necessarily a song that I'm nominating. I'm just nominating Brad Paisley because Brad Paisley to me is awesome. He's one of the best guitar players I've ever heard. And Brad, if I don't suppose you will, but if you do ever get around to listening to episode 8 of this podcast series that we've got, will you please lift the restraining order so we can have a coffee again, please? I just want to talk to you again. No, but he's done a Christmas album as Brad Paisley, and he's got great classics on there. Most of them he's wrote himself. Obviously, he's got some of the traditional stuff, but he's got. Let's have a look at this. First song is Winter Wonderland, and then Santa looked a lot like Daddy. I'll Be Home for Christmas, which is a nice ballad. Away in a Manger, traditional, and then he's got James Penguin. That's a great tune, is that? 365 Days to Go, and then he's done an instrumental of Jingle Bells, Born on Christmas Day, and there's another one called the Kung Pao Buckaroo's Holiday, and it's about, it's great. You've got to get this album, Brad Paisley Christmas, and it's about how you can't say Christmas, you might offend somebody. It's really funny. Brad Paisley's got a wicked sense of humour, but there's not one song on there that I don't like, but he's put his awesome guitar playing to every single song that's on there, so that I'm going to make a hash of this, but the intro to Winter Wonderland is it starts it something like this. What a great the intro to a song, and then sleigh bells ring, are you listening? You know what I mean? All that sort of stuff going on in between, and it's just like, oh God, Brad, you are so cool. Lift that restraining order.
So it's all kind of chicken picking, Telecaster, country,
Oh, yeah.
you know, classic Brad, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. And like I say, he's got some of his own stuff on there, and he's actually done a really clever thing where I think it's a song that's born on Christmas Day, where he actually I think he's on a TV program and he's playing it as a 12-year-old. It's a really old recording, and then it lifts up a key and he carries the song on as he is now. You know, it's just really clever how he's done it. And then he finishes the song back when he was a kid again, and it drops down a key. And it's so good.
Gonna have to check it out.
If you don't like Christmas,
I'll check
oh
it
yeah,
out.
Chris, you'd love it.
Sounds like a Telecaster Christmas. I'll be in heaven, I think.
Phil, I'm surprised that you're not wearing your Christmas Stetson today in honour of Brad.
Oh, well, I would, but you can't see it on the Zoom thing. It's chopping the top of my head off, so you won't see it. Look. But I have got my silver sparkly telly, which makes up for it. So.
Well, there we go then. So we're sticking Brad Paisley as a nomination today. So
yeah.
All right then. Over to my one. Bear with me, chaps. I'm just going to have to engage a button on the Helix. So talk amongst yourselves.
Oh. Have you ever seen Lee engage a button before, Chris?
Oh, plenty of times.
Oh, God, no, I've just seen his pink shorts. What? Oh, dear, he hasn't got his headphones up. Oh, no, my coffee's coming back up.
What's this?
I've just seen your pink shorts. My coffee's coming back up.
Are they, Lee, are they the ones with the flamingos on?
Look, I did say I was dressed appropriately from the waist up, but below the waist, I am wearing some questionable shorts.
Can I just ask a question, though? Like, you bent over to press the button then. Did you wear the buttock parts out on a slide or something? Or did you cut them out anyway?
Oh, dear. And with one fell swoop, he's brought the tone crashing down.
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay, so bear with me on this one, guys, because I've had to make use of one of my admittedly least favourite effects in the Helix, but it gets the gist of the song across, and I can't really do it without it, but the tone is a little bit gnarly. So here we go. See if you know this one. Any guesses?
The darkness, my friend.
Of course.
Yeah, good. I never even thought about that, Lee. I never even thought of them.
What a banger.
I was going to go with this. I had a feeling Lee was going to run with this one. I don't know why.
This song, this band, in fact, this is just an absolute modern classic for me. It came out in 2003. It was Christmas 2003. Same year that they brought out their debut album, Permission to Land. So I was 13, and it was just hit me right at the right age. I was just getting into guitar, probably been playing for a year or two, and man, this song is a tune. I absolutely love that first album. It is just the production, the guitar tones, the guitar playing, the songwriting, everything about it. So this song comes out, and yes, the lyrics are a little bit cheesy, and it's kind of fun and jokey, but you know what?
Does that not suit Christmas? That totally suits Christmas, doesn't it? Fun and, joking around and that. I think it's perfect.
Yes, yeah, you're right. But the thing is, these guys know how to write a song, and that, for me, is the difference. Not many modern Christmas songs make it into that sort of elusive Hall of Fame where they come back year after year. Every year you must get 20 or 30 different artists that just throw something and hope it sticks, but it rarely does. But these guys, well, this is one that I come back to every year, like I say, and you hear it getting played on mainstream radio and on TV. And
they tick all the boxes, though. They got like all the Les Pauls, they got all those Thin Lizzy style harmonies. Sorry, I had someone trying to call me. That was Mike.
Was that Chris?
Mr. Michael Keane.
Chris just had a voice call come through.
What does he want?
I wish you'd have answered that then. Oh, hi, is that Mr. Taylor? Yes, it's Dr. Sharma from the clinic. I'm sorry to say that...
just texting him now. Just in a podcast.
Keep taking the cream, Mr. Taylor. It'll be fine.
We'll clean that right up for you, Sonny.
Lee, get the bells out. Get the bells.
But anyway, yes. So had to pick this one. I just remember idolizing everything about this band at the time and
Yes.
this song. It's got that harmony twin guitar.
So just to get geeky, just for a second, Lee, the harmonizer, because I hear it's because it's well known that we're endorsed by Line 6.
Line 6.
Is it the intelligent harmonizer that you used?
I'm not sure actually. It seemed quite clever.
That's what it's called, is it?
Oh, I think it was just the dual harmony one.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
But yeah, dual harmony, but I had to turn the second voicing off because it's just meant to be my guitar plus one harmony in A major.
Right.
Like that. So I think it's, A major, and then you've got a major third up, which... kind of gets us in the ballpark, I guess.
Oh, it's like you've got 8 fingers there, Lee.
But yeah, I just remember, particularly, I think Justin Hawkins does a lot of the lead work on this, but man, he is so underrated as a guitar player. Like, if you look at live videos or you just listen to the work on those albums.
And the video's cool as well, isn't it?
Oh, yes, the video, total cheese fest, but it's great. It fits in at Christmas, and the way they just orchestrate their guitar parts, it's so musical, but they play dumb. They really play it down in interviews, but they know their stuff. So
speaking of interviews, I don't know if anyone goes and listens to or watches on YouTube Premier Guitar Rig Rundowns. Check out the Darkness one, because I mean, Brits are quite well known for the dry sense of humour and sarcasm. I mean, I don't know where to get that from myself, but apparently that's what we're known for. And I think it's an American guy interviewing them, and he just does not know how to take any of this. It's like, and he talks to the bass player. He goes, oh, and the bass, what's this bass? He goes, I call it the bastard. And this guy's like,
He is brilliant, the bass player. Yeah, they just totally play it down. I think I have seen it.
It's great.
I think I have seen it. The guy just doesn't have a clue.
No.
So I was doing a bit of research last night and listening to it over and over again.
Yeah.
And did you know they re-recorded it in 2013? So 10 years after its original release. You can listen to that online if you want to. Just go to YouTube and search Darkness Christmas Time 2013. You'll hear the production is a little bit modernized, and actually I think they threw in a few more jingle bells, but really, other than that, they barely changed anything, so I don't really know why that was done. And upon release in 2003, did you know it was pipped to the post for Christmas #1 by Gary Jules' version of Mad World?
Which is Mad World?
Yeah.
Is that that boring one?
Yeah,
really slow and...
Yeah, well, obviously the classic Tears for Fears tune, but it was kind of a dreary, acoustic-y cover. That was Christmas #1 that year. But on that note, also, did you know that Wham, Mariah Carey, and the Pogues were also beaten to the #1 slot and all came in at #2? So those 3 classics didn't make it.
Because of the Darkness?
No, in their respective years.
Oh, okay.
So, Mariah Carey with All I Want for Christmas, Pogues, Fairy Tale in New York, and Wham, Last Christmas. They were all Christmas #2 singles. So maybe there's something to be said for, tracks that don't get to that #1 spot. They're the ones that live on. Who knows?
So there you go. The X Factor winners always do an album and fade out into obscurity, whereas the runners-up are the ones that do well and make a living out of Butlins. Cool.
Yeah, it's a fair point, actually. It's a fair point. So yeah, when it comes to Christmas guitar, this was an easy choice for me. How could I not include this? Every time I hear that drum fill, the wow, just I feel like it's Christmas. It takes me back to being a teenager, and the guitar production, the guitar arrangement, and everything about this song from a guitar point of view.
But what you say about the guitars, Lee, they are very anthemic, and I think if we were to ever do a Guitar Heroes Christmas show, that would definitely have to be a song.
Oh yeah,
would have to be featured. The guitar work is you're right. It's just is.
It reminds me very much of Thin Lizzy. It's got that.
I was about to say that earlier before my call came in. yeah, like I'd hear Thin Lizzy in that sound, and with his vocals, like
Oh yeah, man.
Freddie
The
in there,
vocal.
and just a very theatrical vocal, and
Well, they were a modern old rock band, weren't they?
they are,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's also that thing that if you're gonna be in a band or you're gonna write music that has a slightly sort of cheesy or comedic element, then it's never gonna stand the test of time if it's no good. And that's the difference with bands like The Darkness and like Steel Panther today. You know, the songs are there and the performances are top notch.
Well, you've got to be better than all these like so-called serious rock bands that are going to take the piss out of you, because they are usually better than them, aren't they? Like you say, Steel Panther, they are one hell of an outfit. They're
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely. Well, there we go, guys. That's my first nomination. It's The Darkness and Christmas Time. Don't Let the Bells End.
Oh,
I
but
love
do you know
it,
what?
love
That yeah. Where's your bells, Lee? Where's your bells? Come on, there you go. Don't let your and there you go. I think that's really good, because you got Chris that's got the nice sort of laid back and chilled out Christmas, type of song. You got Lee who's gone all rocky, and I've gone all country. So that's quite a good mix to say we didn't know what we were going to do. I would rather we didn't know what each other were going to suggest for this podcast. So I think that's a really good mix.
Mm.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, it was.
Need to lie down now. You're listening to the Guitar Heroes podcast.
Okay, so my second nomination is gonna follow along nicely from yours, Lee. I'm gonna try and stick with the rock thing. This song actually was written in 1960 by an American bluesy soul singer and pianist called Charles Brown. The song is "Please Come Home for Christmas," released in 1960. But actually, this every year was always in the charts as one of the kind of the top Christmas songs. But only actually made it to number one in 1972. It took a while, about 10 years to get to number one, but it stuck around, and it's even to this day is still, considered an absolute classic. And the first time I heard this was in the Home Alone movie.
Yes.
And
yes.
I have a big association with films and songs. Obviously, I hear a lot of Christmas songs and kind of think back to the films I heard them from. But the version I'm actually going with today is Bon Jovi's take on it, which was released in '94.
Nice.
This is Bon Jovi in his absolute prime, and it just oozes, great, rock vocals. The key is a lot higher as well, so Bon Jovi's really going for it, and if you've heard it before, you'll know it's an absolute kind of it's quite a romantic ballad, quite a powerful soulful song, and of course you got Sambora on guitar as well, and he really brings it home at the end of the song. The extended version is the one you're going to need to find, because I think the radio edit's like 2.5 minutes. The extended version has got Sambora's solo at the end, and it's just amazing.
Am I right in thinking as well the video was Cindy Crawford with him?
Yes.
Yes.
It was.
Right.
Yeah. And actually, an interesting fact is Don Felder from the Eagles actually featured on this song as well. I know the Eagles released their own version of this in '78, I think.
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, Bon Jovi's take on it for me is just, I've always loved it. I think, it's Bon Jovi in his prime for me, and a big fan of Bon Jovi and rock music, and so that's my second nomination. It's great. I don't know how to play it on the guitar. I haven't learned solo or anything.
Man, it's such a tune. Another one that I come back to every year. And actually, this is one that's on my honourable mentions list.
Right, okay.
Because, it's just such a banger. I was also introduced to it through Home Alone, one of my favourite films. But interestingly, do you know who did the version that was used in the film?
Was it the original, wasn't it?
No, I thought the same. But actually, looking into it last night, I came across a guy called Southside Johnny Lyon. Yeah, and he did the
Southside Johnny Lyon. Such a great name.
Why would you christen your baby Southside?
No idea.
Daft name.
I think it's a blues name,
Oh.
But for me, the Eagles version with the Dom Felder solo, he gets 4 bars of. And it's, just perfect. Just the best thing. Love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good choice there, Chris. Good choice.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's what I've really got to kind of mention about that, actually.
Mm.
Well, when you got hair like Bon Jovi, that's all you need to say, really.
Pretty much, I know, I know.
Mm.
Okay then, Lee, who are we going to move on to? It's Phil next, I believe.
Yes, yeah, Phil.
Oh, we're
Okay,
flying
well,
through
I'm
these,
just going to go.
flying.
But you
What-
don't want to
what-
do Phil's rant now, do you?
We'll do it after this. Well, I can do a rant if you want. I'm not bothered.
Well, just saying, if you're up for it, you can play that card anytime you want.
Do you want to say it, Chris? Go on, say it.
Cue the music.
Phil's rant. Phil's rant. All right, so my rant it's not really a rant. It's just people, when they're doing gigs that put tinsel on the mic stands. What's that about? It's like, let's get festive. Let's wrap some tinsel around my mic stand. I don't like that. Honestly, I don't like that. Now, fairy lights is a different matter because there's a bit of effort gone into fairy lights because then you've got to find a plug to plug them in. You've thought about that, but don't just put tinsel on your mic stand.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It just seems a bit tinsel on your mic stand. It's a bit 1970s, is that? To
No,
me?
I've never done that.
Weird.
No,
Phil,
I can't imagine.
Phil, have you ever done a fancy dress Christmas gig?
I've done them dressed, if that counts.
Well, that's good to know.
No, dressed up. Oh, yeah, I've put a silly Santa hat on when if you do a Christmas song, I might have put a Santa hat on or something like that. But I don't think probably when I was about 16, I might have put tinsel on my mic stand, but I don't put tinsel on my mic stand. Anybody that puts tinsel on my mic stand, I say get that off.
Well, there we go. We've all learned something today.
Well, I had quite a big rant to rant about, but I don't want to drag the festivities down, to be honest. So I just thought I'd just slip a little one in about tinsel on mic stands, but that's it really. Yeah, I don't want to go too deep into ranting on this one.
All right, fair enough. So nomination number 2 for you then.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry guys, but I'm going all full balls in on this one. This is it's the Slade song. It is the Slade song, but there's a twist to this. Hang on a minute. I'm not going to talk about the guitar. Because I've got my bass here. Okay, I've got my bass. This I think is one of the best bass lines ever. Okay, for not just for a Christmas song, but for any song. All right, and I always have a joke with my wife about this one, right? Because if she's doing anything and she's concentrating, and I know even if I breathe, it'll annoy her, right? I go, would it help if I played you some bass lines? And I grab a bass guitar and she's concentrating and she basically has to go, oh yes please, because otherwise I'll just keep hounding her. And I always play the intro to this song and everything's better after that. But it's a great, whenever I've depped in bands playing bass around Christmas time, I think, please do the Slade one, please do this. And when you see it on the set list, you go, yes, because it's such a great bass line to play. And I'm going to play a little bit of it now.
I'm surprised that this is almost partly a Phil's rant as well, because I know you love this bass line because you always like to tell us that you've learnt the bass line and how much it annoys you when bands don't play the right bass line. If you see a cover band doing this and they don't get the bass line right, oh, that really
Phil.
grinds your gears, doesn't it?
I'll probably play it wrong now.
Phil, you depped to my band at Christmas. Was that right? We did this song. We did this.
I played the bass, and I nailed that bass part, like Chris.
If you looked
I
over
don't
at Phil
know.
and he had a big grin on his face as he was playing the bass line.
Yeah. I tell you what, this song and is it the Wizard one? I always have to remember because they're very similar in terms of the intro, aren't they? In some way, they got that descending chord run. At the beginning. And I need to remember which one is the Slade one. How does this one go?
I'll play it for you, Chris. It goes,
Yeah, you go ahead, please.
yeah. But then when it goes into the chorus. Rock on!
That is a cracking bass line, isn't it?
It's wicked,
Oh,
isn't
I
it?
feel like I need a mince pie now.
Oh no, where's the mince? Lee can have that mince pie I didn't have the other day at the rehearsal.
Oh, it's gone.
I'll
mate.
let her
It's
flow.
long
I
gone.
didn't
Is it
take one
gone?
either.
Yeah.
Long gone. Maybe we should have done some honourable mentions for Christmas bass lines, because now I'm thinking, actually, there's some cracking bass lines out there. Two that instantly come to mind for me are Elton John, Step Into Christmas. Check out the bass line on that. The bass is really high in the mix. If you listen on a good set of speakers, that guy is rocking for that whole song. But also, possibly a controversial nomination, but The Waitresses, Christmas Rapping. You know that song? Merry Christmas,
No.
Merry Christmas.
Oh,
think
that
I'll
one,
get this
right.
one, yes, yeah. But it's got bass line is rocking.
Oh, right, interesting. Yeah, no, I only ever listened to Slade and Brad Paisley. That's it. So yeah, that's
I'm
my.
surprised.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I'm surprised that we didn't have some Christmas setzer from you.
I was told not. Oh, sorry, I'm struggling here. The dog's just farted. It stinks. Oh God! Talk about getting in the Christmas spirit.
The dog.
Oh no, I couldn't smell that bad if I tried. Talk about getting in the Christmas spirit, mince pies and all that. Oh my God, Cookie, you're disgusting. Why have you done that? You need to go for a. We'll go for a walk after we've done this. Oh dear God, my eyes are watering. Where were we?
There's no air in that room either, is there?
No, I know. It's quite a small little studio that I've got here, and it's getting smaller by the second.
So your body's going to be filtering that, isn't it? Jesus Christ.
Give me air.
Oh,
Cookie, I love you more than anything in the world, but please don't do that again.
Dear.
Well, good nomination. It wouldn't be Christmas without a bit of noddy, would it?
But I thought I'd put a twist instead of the guitar, do the bass. Because, I mean, bass players out there, you know, we don't just want guitar players listening to this podcast, bass players as well. And now, you know, we should tip a hat to the bass players because, let's face it, bass players are part of the band. And without a bass player, what would you do? You'd put them onto a click track, wouldn't you, I suppose? Yeah.
Yeah, this is an inclusive podcast. We welcome everybody.
Yeah, we welcome everybody.
Just not drummers.
Yeah. Well, we've already had a drummer and that didn't go well, so it did.
That was too much.
Yeah, we were just a step too far. Cool.
So am I right in thinking, have you guys heard that Slade recorded that track in, I think it was a sweltering New York City studio in July of whenever it came out? You hear this quite a lot, that the bands struggle to get in the Christmas spirit because they often end up recording their Christmas single months and months in advance, and you've got to... Although, actually, I mentioned Elton John. I heard him on the radio the other day talking about that Step Into Christmas. And I think they knocked that up literally like 10 days before Christmas. Christmas was already in full swing, and he was like, hang on, I want to be involved in this, bear with, and just ran into the studio, knocked that out, and I think it might have even gone on to be Christmas #1 or something.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's
crazy.
Yeah,
I actually like that song. It's great. Guitar playing in that. It's really good as well. Some nice little guitar riffs, actually.
Some people just hate Christmas music, don't they? And I've always been confused. I love it.
The thing is, there's a bit for everyone, because obviously you get everyone coming out. You've got James Brown with, like, you know, funky Christmas stuff, and there's such a good variety of genres within Christmas music, isn't there? So I don't know how no one can really get into it. There's so much variety out there for everyone.
I always come back to the classics, but I like exploring other people's, because everyone's done a Christmas album. So you can go through iTunes and just kind of browse, like Brad Paisley, and find people like that aren't necessarily in the mainstream classic Christmas collections, but he's done a Christmas album.
I'm sorry, Lee, I've got to stop you there. One does simply not just browse Brad Paisley.
Okay. Sorry, Brad.
Love you, Brad.
Careful,
Sorry,
man.
Brad.
He might not meet up for that coffee, so...
Okay, so should we come to my second nomination?
Yep, do
I've
it.
moved my headphone cable out the way now, so...
Are you a Chuck Berry
guesses?
fan?
It's
You
random,
must be.
actually, that he's popped up in both of my nominations, both for the 50s and this one. But does it get any better than Rum Rum Rudolph? I don't know if it
That's
does.
a great song. And so many people have covered that song. It's fantastic. I love
you
it.
hear that intro, don't you? What a
Again,
tune.
Home Alone, again.
Yes, you've got it, and that's where it's from for me.
Clearly,
That was
Lee,
my-
this is a film of our generation, and
It's
Yeah,
my
man, it's
favourite Christmas film, and it's instant nostalgia, and it takes me straight back to being 10 years old, absolutely so excited in the run up to Christmas, and then that scene where they're late for the plane, they're running through the airport, and oh man, that is just the sound of Christmas for me. So I looked into it just to find out a little bit of information. Recorded in 1958 from the album Chuck's on Top. Interesting fact, I did not know this. It was actually written by a chap called Johnny Marks. And Johnny Marks is the original writer of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Really?
So he's got 2 classic Rudolph-based songs in his repertoire. Yeah, back in like 34, he wrote Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I can't remember who. He didn't sing it. He wasn't the original famous singer, but he was the writer. And then 20 years later, Chuck said, I need a rock and roll based Rudolph song, and went to the same guy. But it was the line in there as well for me, the rock and roll electric guitar. Just that, I think that just, at the time I was literally that kid waiting for a rock and roll electric guitar at Christmas. So that coupled with the Home Alone thing, it had to be Chuck Berry with Rum Rum Rudolph for me.
That's a great nomination.
Really good, really good. And I do you know what? I was going to do some Brian Setzer stuff today, but apparently I'm always harping on about Brian Setzer.
Do you know what, Phil? You know what? We're going to go round again. We got time. Phil, I want to hear some Brian Setzer. Come on. It's Christmas.
Come on. All right. Well, yeah. Well,
give us Jingle Bells. I love his version of Jingle Bells.
Hang on, I've got a bass on at the moment. Hang on.
Oh.
I love. Wait a minute.
Christmas movies is where I was introduced to so much Christmas music. So I think if the song made its way into a film that I love, because I come back to those classic Christmas movies every year. We're working through, the classic 5 or 6 of them at the moment, but it's not necessarily a classic. But I was also always partial to Arnold Schwarzenegger's Jingle All the Way as a kid. It's turbo time. And that had Setzer's music.
That was
in
really good.
Get down. Put the cookie down. That's not that film, is it? That's Kindergarten Cop, is it? Or something?
yeah.
Yeah. No, Brett. Oh, yeah. Well, do you know what? I'm not prepared for this at all, and I don't really know this song, so I'm going to bodge my way through it. But it is really exciting the way that he does Jingle Bells. It's like. And then he does a load of nice jazz chords that I don't know what they are, so I'm just going to... Jingle bells, jingle bells. But the solo he does in it it's awesome. It's like... No, it's not that. There we go. That's it. Oh man. Jingle bells, yes!
So good. I've had the Setzer album on this year, just playing over and over again. It's so good.
Do you know, I've had it bought for Christmas this year. I can't play it yet, but it's the one with the red discs.
Oh wow! What, a red vinyl?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I can't play it until Christmas Day, unfortunately. But I'll look forward to that.
Definitely,
it's gonna be lovely, isn't it?
Nice
mulled wine or a Tia Maria, whatever.
Tia Marie's the rest of the year. I might have mulled wine Christmas morning.
You're usually on the port at this time of year, aren't you, Phil?
This time of day, actually.
Okay, well,
I am on the port. Yeah.
Has anyone got? I've got a few mentions. Well, actually, no. I think we've gone through all my mentions. One that we didn't. Oh no, I've got 2 here that I just love, and they're worthy of a mention. So I'm going to throw them in. So we've got Mike Oldfield.
Oh.
In I don't even
with
know
his tubular jingle bells.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it in Dolce Jubilo? Have you heard this?
Know.
From 1975, played on his SG Junior. You've probably seen the video because it was actually one of the quite fitting for now, where we're seeing all these Zoom videos with all these multiple screens and everything. It's the video where Mike, and I think he, in typical Mike Oldfield fashion, he plays just about every instrument on the track, and you see in the studio, all of the takes pieced together. So the screen is filled with like 8 or 9 images of him recording all the parts. It's the one. That one, but it goes into at the end. It's got the. Oh, I'm not even going to try and play it. Do you know the one?
You must have blind mice.
You must have heard it.
I do know it. And do you know what? I've actually got my. Hang on. I'm going to.
Oh.
I've actually, again, the listeners can't see this, but I've actually got the a Now Christmas album here that I got for 50p. And it's got that one on there. Mike Oldfield in Dulce Jubilo. Yeah.
That's the one. It's a traditional sort of Christmas hymn, and it starts all a bit folky. It's got this guitar at the beginning, and it's got recorders and all kind of whistly bits. But if you get through that, he comes in at the end with this SG part. He recorded it on his SG Junior, and because of the way he plays like classical style. He plays with his long nails and does kind of this shaky vibrato, and it's very fluid because he doesn't use a pick. And I just remember being a kid and trying to figure out that song and trying to get the sound, because it is a guitar, but because it's got this fluid, almost legato-y, no pick attack kind of tone to it, it sounds almost like it could be some sort of wind instrument. And he goes right, I can't even reach it because I've only got 21 frets on this guitar, but he goes right up to this like I can't bend that high. It goes like super high, like right at the top of his fretboard. And I just remember being a kid and just being a little bit fascinated with that sound, because I was more used to traditional rock guitar, and then this song came along and it was like, well, this is guitar, but I can't really figure out how he's doing that, how he's playing that. And it's
he's a multi instrumentalist, isn't he? And like he's more, I would say, of a composer than he is a guitarist. So his guitar approach is very unconventional. So anyone trying to learn it, we're kind of visualizing scales and things, and he's just, I don't know, thinking he's like in some other realm, isn't he?
It's a good example of that.
I actually have a third nomination, if I may.
Go for it.
This might tie into a Chris's Corner too. So, I might.
Do we cue the music or not?
No, not just yet. No, not just yet.
Okay.
But this song actually is. It's not your traditional Christmas song. However, there are traits of that in the song. This song is called River. It's a Christmas folk song written by Joni Mitchell. But the version I'm actually going to be looking at is James Taylor's, from the album 2006, James Taylor at Christmas, which is a lovely album. I love James Taylor, as you guys well know. But this song in particular just stood out for me. Just it's set near Christmas, but rather than being about Christmas, it kind of ruminates around the breakup of a romantic relationship. And the river symbolizes a sense of escape or freedom from this, basically. Musically, Joni Mitchell's original version from her 1971 album Blue, actually the piano accompaniment is taken from Jingle Bells. It's just reharmonized. There's like it'll have something like that, but we'll move to like different bass notes underneath it, and kind of it's altered ever so slightly. But you listen to it and go, that's Jingle Bells. But James Taylor's approach is just I made a note of how to play it because I can't quite remember. I'm going to give it a go, but that would actually tie me into Chris's Corner in a second. But James Taylor's approach, anything he covers always just sounds like him. And but it's just an absolutely beautiful song. If you get a chance to listen to it, the song is called River. It's absolutely amazing. And actually, that entire album is great. He's got on there Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, which is extremely jazzy, some lovely piano work going on. And for me, I don't really think so much of rock music at Christmas time. I'm thinking more like Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, and a lot of swing and jazz music. That's generally what I kind of gravitate more towards. But this song is kind of a middle ground for me, more popular song, if anything. So, but what's interesting, you'll probably see as I play this, it requires a capo, but something happens with this capo during the parts, and
Does it explode?
it's a pow. Yeah. I don't know whether to just play this as parts of Chris's corner or just play it now.
If you want to play that card,
Let's
then
play it.
you-
Let's
you-
play it.
you
I've got
throw
Just
it
something
tell,
else
out.
to
just
go
tell me,
with,
Chris.
so
Give me the
you
word.
do it.
Give me the word.
Phil, do it.
Cue the music.
Ah, that's not right. No. Sorry, bear with me.
Is that the capo doing its thing?
Did anyone
That's
else see
right.
that capo move?
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you do it by itself? That was beautiful. Beautiful, Chris.
Yeah,
I'm
so
filling
there's
up.
so just between the intro jumping into the verse, James Taylor shifts his capo, but I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but years ago he actually broke his hands in a motorbike accident.
Didn't know that.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so there were a few songs he had to actually drop from his repertoire. Some songs that he's used to love performing. Here we go. The song is called "Secrets of Life."
Okay.
The Secret of Life or something, but it's got
Yeah.
these very intricate chord movements, and they're quite. Some of the stretches are quite. I wouldn't say are quite big, but they are relatively awkward. But from breaking his hands, he couldn't actually perform this song, so he
Oh,
had
I didn't know
to
that.
spend a few years trying to rework it.
Can you
So we
can you
could
do it
again.
now?
He can now.
He's
He's had to
recovered
kind of
now.
just-
Is he? Is he all
yeah,
right?
yeah, he can do that now. But a lot of his playing is just based around open chords.
Yeah.
But if I was to actually play the verse part in this song, it goes from just the open C chords, capo on first fret number 1, but then moves up to fret number 4 to maintain these open string sounds, you know. But if I was to actually play that, that would be. I don't even think I could
I
make a
see.
stretch on
yeah.
it.
So for
My
those
hand-
listening, Chris is now demonstrating some ridiculous stretch across about 6 frets.
Which for
Yeah.
Lee
So-
would be quite easy because
Yeah,
Lee's
for me,
middle
it's
finger is about 18 inches long, isn't it?
Oh, there we go. I'm literally playing like fret number 4 with my first finger, little fingers on like fret number 8, and like it's really uncomfortable. I'm having to bar fret number 4 as well. It's really it's very uncomfortable. I couldn't do a whole gig like this.
You'd have to wear your guitar very high to do that.
But it's basically an E minor 9 chord. If anyone's interested, it's that sound, but just shifted up. It's really hard to play, but do you know, all the years I've gigged, I've never had to perform a song where I've had to shift the capo.
I've not heard the song. Is he doing it? Is there actually a key change, or is he just doing it to reach other shapes that he couldn't play?
It's basically the same key. I'm starting
Okay.
in C,
Yeah.
capo first fret.
Yeah.
As that capo shifts up to fret number 4, I'm still playing C, but I'm playing that as an A
I
chord
see.
shape. You see?
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it's interesting,
Wow.
but he does that obviously to retain that sound quality that he always kind of runs with, and I suppose you can never really capture those open string transients, from
Yeah,
those
there's
chord
something about the
positions.
ring of an open string, particularly on an acoustic guitar. That's just instant James Taylor, especially those 9 chords. They're just awesome. Oh, that's a good nomination.
But that's
Definitely.
my
I'm gonna
corner
go
as
and
well.
listen
Like
to
I've
that.
never come across a song where I've had to shift a capo during a song. So there we go.
Chris's corner. Excellent.
Jingle bells
There we
points for
go.
Chris there for.
Oh,
Also-
big jingle for you, Chris.
Also obscurity as well. I was trying to find a song that was not just kind of researching songs, but songs that I know that are a little obscure to kind of the mainstream Christmas pop and rock songs. So hopefully an extra couple of brownie points there, Lee.
Definitely. I think as it's Christmas, it's the season of giving. We all win brownie points for that. That was really great way to just roll into the festive season. Interesting question, just to maybe end on here, guys.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite Christmas song? Because we were trying to look at specific guitar Christmas music. That doesn't necessarily mean these were your favorite Christmas songs. Do you each
No.
have a favorite Christmas song?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is Chris Ria's "Driving Home for Christmas."
Oh, okay. So all right,
I
well,
mentioned that at the start. I absolutely love that song. I love Chris Ria. Everything about that song for me is Christmas. It's great. It's upbeat and it's got that melancholy sort of quality to it too. So,
how about you,
Yeah.
Phil?
All of Brad Paisley's back catalogue.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, Brad. No, actually, one of my favourite songs
I was
is
going to say Backdoor then.
Who?
But you were going to say Backdoor then. All of Brad Paisley's Backdoors.
I like, just for the pure jollity of it, I like Sleigh Ride, but by the Brian Setzer Orchestra.
Okay.
That's a really
Yes.
happy, jolly type of song, is
Yeah.
that? I like that one.
Well, mine is the classic, the most classic of all classics, I think. Pogues, Fairy Tale of New
Okay.
York.
I'm glad you didn't say
That's
Gary
just-
Glitter.
Well, it's a toss-up between Fairy Tale of New York, which I think does win, or Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, Sinatra. Those two are just, they just hit you in the feels. But particularly the Pogues one, it's just, yeah. If I could have nominated it, I would have nominated it. But although it's got lots of stringed instruments, I didn't think it was particularly guitar-based.
Stringed instruments and booze.
Yeah. But just Shane MacGowan proving that you don't need to be able to sing to have a hit record.
Yeah. yeah.
Because that comes round every year, and the royalty check he must get off that is ridiculous.
I don't think he gets money. I think he gets crates of whiskey.
Oh, well, everyone's a winner.
Yeah, he doesn't need money.
Well, there we go. That just about wraps up the festive edition of this Guitar Heroes podcast. Are we breaking now for Christmas? Because by the time it's Tuesday the 15th of December today, but by the time this goes out on air, it will be the week of Christmas. It'll be next week. So
It will. Yeah, it will.
I guess
so,
by the time people hear us again, it will be post Christmas.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be that in-betweeny bit of Christmas and New Year, isn't it? So we'll be able to talk about what sort of a Christmas day we had, and did we get any guitar-related presents? What's a good
Show off our Christmas socks.
Actually, that's that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. That will be because I think I'm in the hot seat next time, aren't I?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
you
are.
are,
So,
yeah.
so what we're going to talk about next time is like Christmas gifts. You know, did you get a Christmas gift for Christmas to do with guitars? You know, what little trinkets have you been bought over the years for Christmas? You know, like roadie wrenches or things like that. So that'd be quite nice. Have a think about what you maybe could buy the guitar player or have bought a guitar player. Things like that, little
Yeah.
bits like that. That'd be quite interesting.
Definitely. Okay. Sounds like a good idea.
I should last all of
sounds
10
like a good
minutes.
idea.
That'd be great. I'll be drunk. I'll be drunk through all of it anyway. Since the Christmas
Yeah,
period, there'll be no work.
We
so.
best make it a short one anyway, because Phil
Chris,
will
what did
likely
you get
be
for Christmas?
inebriated.
Box of Quality Street.
Or inebriated. Do you want to do the socials, Lee?
Oh, yes. Okay, so if you want to send us a Christmas message, find us on Instagram. It's Phil Walker Guitar, Chris Anthony Guitar, and Lee Troy Guitar. Find us on Facebook. It is Phil Walker Guitarist, Lee Williams Guitarist, and Chris Anthony Guitar. The website, www.storyofguitarheroes.com, and of course you can search Story of Guitar Heroes on Instagram and Facebook. You can go to YouTube and search Phil Walker Guitarist. I think that just about wraps it up.
Cool.
So from all of us here at the Guitar Heroes podcast, have a very Merry Christmas, everybody, and thank you for joining us.
Ho, ho, ho.
Merry Christmas. See you later.
You're going to say Merry Christmas to everyone. You're going to say Merry Christmas. It's a Merry Christmas. Cookie, Merry Christmas. Say it. Merry Christmas. What's that? Merry Christmas. Cookie. There's a good boy.